Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a ruched dress, and I'm making use of this fabric, which is a crepe and it's not stretchy. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you as you do that. So I'll go ahead with the drafting of this dress, and that part where my hand is automatically becomes my shoulder line. So I'm just marking 3/4 of an inch, and after marking that I'll use my ruler to extend all the points which I made. And after that I'm going to divide my shoulder of 16 inches into two, and I have 8 inches which I just marked there. After that I'll determine my neck width of 3 inches. After determining that, I'll go ahead to mark my neck depth of 4 inches. So I'll proceed to connect my neck width to my neck depth just like this. So after doing that, I'll just move over to my shoulder, which I divided into earlier on. I'm going to mark out my armhole of 8 inches, which is usually constant for an adult. So I just connected the lines, and I'm going to find the half of 8 inches, which is 4. I marked it there. At that point I came in by half of an inch, and I'm just going to divide my bust circumference into 2, and then whatever I get, I'll mark it exactly where my armhole is, and that will be a guide to connect my armhole. So having done this, now I'll go ahead to mark out my other necessary and required measurements. So I went ahead to mark my my half length, which is 15 inches. And please, if you look very well, I placed my tape from the line which I drew, is not from the edge or from the tip of my fabric. So after marking my half length, I went ahead to mark my top length, and I added 2 inches for my hemming or my sewing allowance. So after this, I'll just go ahead to extend all these lines. And please, this dress won't be any that at all. So once I was done with that, I went ahead to divide my waist circumference into 4, and I added 1 inch, just 1 inch stitching allowance or sewing allowance. So of course I already have my bust divided into 4 there, so I just had to add 1 inch sewing allowance. So I did that, and for my top length I also did the same thing as well. I divided into 4, I added 1 inch sewing allowance, and my top length actually stopped exactly at my lower waistline. Hope you understand. So once I was done with that, I just went ahead to use my ruler to connect all of these points together. Please, whichever sharp or pointed edge you have, please make sure that you blend it as well. So having connected all of that, now I'll just go ahead and come to my where my neck width actually stopped. I came up by half of an inch, and I'm just going to connect from that point into my shoulder. I hope you understand my explanation. If you don't understand, just watch carefully and you definitely get everything I'm trying to explain here. So having done all of that, I'll just go ahead and cut out all of this which I have drafted out already. So having done that, now I've cut out for the front, so I'll go ahead to draft out for the back part of this my dress, and I'm just going to fold this as usual into 2, and I'm going to place my front bodies on top of this folded fabric, and I'm just going to go ahead to maintain every other measurement here at size the neck line, that's the neck depth, sorry. So I'm just trying to place it in order, and yeah, perfect. I've gotten what I want. So I will just mark 2 inches for my neck depth, that's for the back dress. So that's just my sleeve. And of course, if you don't know how to do that, please check out my other videos, and definitely you will know how I draft out my sleeve patterns. So after drafting my sleeve here, so I just got the front part of my dress, that's the my top, the front part. So I'm trying to measure the length, and after measuring the length, I'm just going to subtract half inch from the full length, and okay, I'm just going to subtract 1 inch altogether and I'm going to cut out a piece, and you can see me there marking that there. And for the width, I'm going to mark 2 inches. I'm going to mark inches. Don't worry, you will soon find out what this is for actually, but your top length, subtract 2 inches from there. And for the width, don't make it too wide. You can as well go by 3 or 2 inches. So after doing all of that, I'll just go ahead now and get my dress. That's for my front and my back bodies, and I'll go ahead to pipe the neckline for my front bodies and the neckline for my back body. So I'll do this and I'll come back and show you. So here it is, as you can see, I've gone ahead already to pipe the neckline, and here is the front and here is the back of my dress. So now I'm just going to get that piece. Here is that piece which I cut out earlier on before piping the neckline of my dress, and I went ahead to measure this to determine that my measurement is actually accurate. So I'm just going to fix this now to my front dress. So I folded this my dress into 2, and I'm trying to get to mark the middle of the dress. So you can see I just made that point there, and I opened it up back, and I'm just going to extend that line all the way to my full top length. So having taking note of the middle of this my dress, I went ahead as well to also 1 inch from both the up and the down part of your full top or your dress length. So I'll go ahead and fold in at least 1/4 of an inch on this piece which I already cut out, both the up and the down part. So I'm just going to fold in at least 1/4 of an inch. So after folding that, I'll I'll fold in just the top and the bottom part. I'll do this first before any other explanation. So if you see here, I've gone ahead to actually do that, and I'm just trying to also determine the middle part of this piece which I cut out earlier on, and taking note of that, I'm going to place it exactly on that mark or that point where I made this. But please mind you, this can be at the side of your dress, at the center, or anywhere you feel like it's best for you to achieve your ruched effect. So for me, I just wanted to place mine at the center front of my dress, hence my reason for this. So after doing this, I'm just going to run a stitch all the way down to that end there, and as you can see, this piece actually stopped exactly on my top length without the hemming allowance. So I've gone ahead to do this, and I went ahead to also stitch the sides with 1/4 of an inch, and you can see there is also a hole in between these 2 lines. Please, you shouldn't stitch that part because that is where a rope or a loop will be passing through. So I'm just going to measure my top length of 16 inches, and I'm just going to cut a rope or a long piece times 2 of that. That means I'm going to cut a long piece of 32 inches. So when I did this, it was actually not up to 32, so I had to double it, and I'll later on join this together. So I went ahead to cut at least 1 inch. So when I did this, I was actually not up to 32, so I had to double it, and I'll later on join this together. So I went ahead to cut at least 1 inch wide of this piece that will be serving as the rope. So you can see I cut out 2 of this, and I'll go ahead to join this together, and I'll fold this in just like this, and I've formed the rope. So after that, now I'll join my front and my back dress at the shoulder armhole, and I'm going to attach my zipper at the sides with my sleeve using the 1 inch which I left earlier on as my sewing allowance. So here now is it, and I'm just going to use this to make this rope pass through, and you can see I've attached every other thing just like I said earlier on. And I'm just going to pass this through, and I'll bring it out. I'll pass it through the other side. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. And after attaching this, that is all for this dress. You can do yours, you can make yours as a gown, whatever you wish, shirts or anything. So you can see, so we have come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and don't forget to comment as well if you have any question at all. So see you in the same time on the same channel. Till then, happy new year, and I wish you the best in this year 2023. Have a good and memorable year. May this year be the best of all the years you've ever witnessed in your life. And as you celebrate this new year, social celebrations never cease in your life. Thank you for always supporting this little channel. Thank you for making me grow. God bless you. Happy New Year.